Good afternoon all. Today we will start with Verilog language elements. So till last class we have discussed briefly about different modeling style of Verilog. So today we will see about what are the different syntax or semantics supported in Verilog HDL. So starting with identifiers. So identifiers are nothing but a name which a designer give for identifying a particular module. So it may be a module, it may be where, it may be a register. So in order to give a particular name, so that it can be he can able to identify that particular module, identifiers are used. So identifiers consist of letters followed by numbers. So it can be either small a to z or capital A to z or digits like 0 to 9. You can also additionally have dollar character and underscore character. So all these things can be there in identifiers. Apart from this, any other characters like ASCII characters or like hash symbol, all those symbols can't be part of your identifiers. Okay. And I told also that identifiers should not start with a number. It should always starts with alphabets. You can able to end it with number. Okay. So first characters should be always a letter or an underscore. That is a requirement. So identifiers are case sensitive. So Verilog itself is a case sensitive language. Unlike your VHDL is case insensitive. Here identifiers, when you are naming a particular module like half adder in caps or half adder in small, this both are case sensitive. Okay, so that you have to take care. So examples here, like there is a count here. So we can have, like, if you will see count. Okay, so for as far as examples are concerned, so here I have written one count and another count. If you will see this, both are different. Okay, so count with capital C and all caps count, these are both different things. So that you have to take care. Apart from that, these are other valid you can say identifiers. It starts with underscore or alphabet. You can't start with error. So tools which we use, like either you tell Xilinx FPGA tools or other tools, they will point that in that line there is an error, but they will not tell what is the particular error. So you have to debug on your own that it should not start with a number. So by chance if you have put started with number, that you have to take care on your own. Okay, so here it starts with R. So underscore sometimes we give to make it more readable. So to differentiate if there is a long identifier namings are there, but mostly underscores are ignored. So these are there for better readability. Okay, so there is a $4 rules. So you can use dollar underscore alphabets, and alphabets are case sensitive. Okay, so like this you can give actual any accurate identifiers which suits to your engineering design. Okay. So followed by, there is another terminology called escaped identifier. Okay. So mostly there are question may arises that there are other ASCII codes are there, other like I want to start with a number. So at that time these generalized identifiers can be escaped by using escaped identifiers. Okay. So escaped identifier is provides a way of including any of the printable ASCII character. Also you can include numbers. Okay. So generally it starts with a backslash symbol. So your examples are like slash 1 2 3 4. So like this, if you are starting with a backslash, after that you can put 1 2 3 4. This can be treated as escaped identifier, and these are allowed. Okay. So only identifier can't start with a number, but if you will use escaped identifier, then it is allowed. Okay. So similarly, we have written others also like this, you can say, and this is, it started with a curly bracket. So it with a after backslash, and this started with another this not symbol, you can say. So here when you are writing slash output is same as output. So in escaped identifier, either you write slash output or output, both are same, because it is an identifier. Okay. So escaped identifiers are there only to allow the special type of character like ASCII characters or numbers. So, if you want any time specifically you want to use it, so that you can use by using backslash, which is called as escaped identifier. Okay. Or most of the time you can use identifiers, you have to take care that it should start with an alphabet, right. So, this is to name particular design or any net or any register or variable in Verilog design coding. Okay. So, after this, comments is a regular term we use to make the design reusable. Another fellow can read your comments and he can design or reuse your code for its for his understanding. Okay. So, before to comments there is called keywords. So, in short I can say that there are certain reserved identifiers which users or coder can't use for their coding. Like while coding I can't make initial as one of the identifier, because initial and always are fixed in Verilog language manual. Okay. So, a list of reserved identifiers are there which is there for used for certain context or for certain requirement. So, those are called as keywords, right. So, only the lower case keywords are reserved words. That means, if there is a always, we discussed about always last class. So, always initial or these all are like even if module, whatever keywords are there, they are always in small case, okay, not in caps. Okay. So, if you are writing always keyword in small and then you are writing capital always, this always will be treated as an identifier. Okay. So, capital and small always are two different things. Small always is a keyword, whereas capital always is an identifier. Okay. So, these are also case sensitive. So, you have to take care of that. So, similarly you can use slash also to create escaped keywords. Understood? Okay. So, now coming to comments. So, it is almost, we know that Verilog is mostly C type, it follows C types of coding constructs, few coding constructs. So, there are two comments supported in Verilog SDL. One is by using this you can write down this star, then writing something, then you can put this. So, within this whatever you are putting, that is why you can extend it from across many lines. So, if you are directly you want to make 100 number of lines directly to comment, then you can put like this you know. Okay. And if there is a only single line, so ends at the end of the line, so then you have to use this double slash. This is a simple thing. Okay. This is about the comments. So, how to do comments. So, actually before what we did actually till now we have discussed first VLSI design flow, ASIC, bit analog and bit FPGA design flow. After that we did a Verilog tutorial class, so that you can able to understand briefly the different modeling style, including data flow, continuous assignment statement, behavioral modeling, structural, which is again consists of module, and we did module and gate level only as a part of tutorial class. Then we did mixed design type of modeling. We have understood also simulation of design, how to do right test bench, and we have seen 3 examples for that. Okay. So, now we are going in detail of Verilog SDL, where the first module is about learning about what are the standard syntax or semantics or language elements supported by Verilog. Okay. So, maybe 1-2 class this I will complete. After that we will go in detail of the each modeling style. So, after comment is over, next is format. So, format is something like how you are representing your coding. So, this is what I want to say always, that Verilog is a case sensitive language. So, you have to take care of your case while writing the entire module, and keywords are always in small case, not in caps. So, if you are writing different identifiers with different case, then they will be treated as a two distinct identifiers. So, in addition to this, Verilog SDL is also called as free format language. That means either you can write down with example, you can write down entire language in a single line like this: initial, then begin, top is equal to 3 tick B 001 semicolon end, then #2. So, end. So, in one line you can write down, or if you want you can expand it through multiple line. Across the multiple line also you can do. So, this is one way of representing your code. So, the same thing, initial, begin, top, semicolon, #2, top, semicolon, and then end. So, these are two writing style. So, mostly we prefer the second style for proper readability. So, you can use white spaces also, those are including new line, tab, space characters. Sometimes white space we use for only for differentiating between two lines, or just to know that there is a space between two identifiers. Okay. So, these are also can be used. So, this is the about the formatting of the coding, which already we did in previous classes. So, now coming to what are the different values. So, there are different values supported in Verilog SDL. So, one is 0, 1, XZ. So, the pictorial representation is given in right side. So, 0 you know it is logically always it means that logic 0. Similarly, 1 is logic high or represents validity of your design. Similarly, X means you do not care. So, you can see this is 0, this is 1, in between this do not care, we do not know whether it is 0 or 1. And Z is the state which is called as high impedance state. So, mostly the output will drive to Z in mostly tri-state logics, like we will see in gate level modeling style. We have discussed about and NOR. So, those are mostly will not drive output to Z, because those will always possess either 0 or 1 or sometimes X depending upon the input. So, there are tri-state buffers where switching activity goes on. Okay, we will see in detailed class of gate level modeling. So, at that time output may go to Z. Okay. So, that is high impedance state, switch is off, you can say transistor as a switch is off. Okay. So, mostly these 4 logic supported. Okay. So, a Z value means high impedance, 0 is logic 0, and similarly 1 is logic 1. A Z value at the input of a gate or an expression is usually interpreted as an X. So, if there is a gate and input by chance after a tri-state logic it is connected to one of the input of a gate. So, that Z while representing to output it will be termed as a X, do not care, because you do not know what is the means that gate does not know what is the input, it is in Z. So, it does not get any valid 0 or 1. So, it will term the output as a X, okay, that is do not care. So, furthermore, the values X and Z are case insensitive, that you remember. Though it is case sensitive entire coding key means your identifiers and all, X and Z's are not case sensitive, insensitive. That is, if you are writing like see 0 x 1 z, I have written here, I have written capital 0 x 1 z, both are same. Okay. So, this is a good thing that while taking care of identifier you have to observe, or you have to keep in mind that it should be the same case whatever you are writing throughout the code. If x z are there, then it is immaterial whether it is small or caps, that is a good thing. Understood? Okay. So, these are the different value set, whatever coding you will do, whatever results they will get at its output or will give to its corresponding input are always in terms of 0 and x or z it will come, maximum 4 value logic you can say. Okay. So, there are 3 types of constants in Verilog SDL it supports while describing a constant in Verilog SDL. So, one is called actually integer, then followed by real and followed by string. So, first is called your integer. So, what is integer, how to define, these are few stuffs you already know, but in with respect to our language we need to understand this. Okay. So, an integer number can be written in 2 forms in Verilog SDL. So, one is called simple decimal form, like example you know 22 or minus 25, like whether it is positive or negative. Then second, it is called base format notation. Okay. So, in base format notation we use this one, size in square bracket I have written, then one tick base, this is, then the value. Okay. So, you can just see this one, we have seen these examples, like here size is indicate 5. So, it shows that it is 5 bit. Okay. So, tick and O indicates the base may be here we have written size of the constant in number of bits. It may be 8 bit, 10 bit, 16 bit, 32 or 64 bit, and base will decide whether decimal, octal, hexadecimal or binary. Okay. So similarly, they are also telling this O, small o, capital O, small b, capital B, these are also treated as equal. You write either caps B or small b, they will be treated as binary. Okay, that is also good thing. No need to remember that which case we need to write the base. Okay. So so then value is the value what you want to display. So here if you will see it's the sequence of digit that are the values from the base. So 5 tick O 37 indicates, in example, this is a octal value and of 5 bit length. Okay. Similarly, decimal value of 2, which is a 4 bit length. Here underscore given for readability. So tool will ignore it and it will be treated as 1x01. So 4 bit binary. So I see till now in simulation when we are creating, we are just writing a equal to 1, b equal to 0. So that is actually simple decimal format you are writing. So other, like if it is 32 bit, so at that time you have to write 32 tick h some value or 32 tick b some value, maybe it is in 32 bit binary, okay, not h. So at that time you have to follow this notation. Okay. So in complex coding 32 bit, 64 bit, we have to follow this type of base format notation, right. So similarly when you are writing 7 tick hx, so in case of x and in case of z, so if you have written this, then it will be like the result is like 7x, or in this case it is 4z. So these are the few terminology you have to remember. So here I have given directly 37. So 37 in octal in 5 bit it will be represented, and when x 7 tick hx or hz is written, so these will be extended and number of bits of z or x will be the final output. Okay. So similarly what they are telling here, if you will see after this tick and base, after this or before this, spaces are allowed. Okay. So tick character and between base and value. So this okay, so means tick character with base, before to this and after this spaces are allowed, but within this spaces are not allowed. Okay. So that we will see here. So somewhere he has here if you will see 3 tick space B001. So he is telling that it is not legal because no space should be in between tick and the base B or H, whatever. Here in case it is we are having B. So this space is not allowed, and the values here is negative, we can't put. So -4 in negative value will not be there. A number in base format notation is always an unsigned number. Okay. So if you want to sign number, then you have to write in the single format notation, like we have written -25 under, right. So so here so -4 is not legal. Similarly in the last line it is given size cannot be an expression, like you take 3, 4 or 10 or 16, you can't put any expression here, right. 2 plus 3 you can't write, you have to write directly 5 tick D and 10. Okay. So these are the standard semantics. It's means knowledge is required to further go into more complex design modeling style of Verilog. Okay. Lastly, sometimes the size specification is also an optional. So I told in language terminology many times you will see the square bracket indicates optional. Okay. In many language terminology, either C or you see any other, in Linux terminology also, if something is written in square bracket, it is treated as optional. That means either you may have a size or you may not, it depends upon your requirement. So here, so it also allows that the size of the number is optional. So in that case, the size of the number is the number of bits specified in the value. Okay. So if you will see here, I have written tick O721. So we have not given whether it is 8 bit, 9 bit or whatever, but it is written 9 bit octal. So octal means 1 will be 3, then 2 will be in terms of 3, like you know na, 001, 010, 111. So 9 bit. So it is 9 bit octal. Simple. Okay. So similarly TCH AF written. So F will be like this 4 bit, and A also similarly you can put A is how much? 10. So 10 is 1010. So it is becoming 8 bit. Okay. So if size square bracket indicates that size is optional, you can put any of the size depending upon your whatever the value will evaluate. Depending upon that, simulator will find out its final size. Okay. Then coming to integers, like if size specified is larger than the size specified by the constant, that means in that case if you will see, like let us say here I have taken 10 tick b 10. So constant is 10, not 10, binary 10. So if constant is 10 but size is 10, so it is simple that the number is padded with the corresponding zeros into the left side. Okay. So 10 is given here. So if you will count, another 8 zeros they have put, so that this total is now 10 bit. So result is, if your size specified is larger than the size specified of the constant, because here constant size is 2 bit but size specified is 10 bit. So in that case the number is padded to the left with zeros, except for the case where the leftmost bit is x or z. That means if left here it is 10, then zeros will be padded. If it is here x, this is 0 actually, this is not O, x0 x1. Okay. So in that case this 4 is gone, so another 6 x will be added. So for x and z the treatment is different. So simulator will treat it in a different way, so that you have to take care. So 4 bit for this 4 bit and another 6x, so that it will be of appropriate size. That means you can give this as a input to the simulator, but at the end output will be evaluated, it will be displayed in the console or output window, like we told $monitor and all. So at that time, as it is 10 tick b written, means the output will be coming in 10 bit only. Okay. So this will be the final output representation value. Okay. And the second is, if size is specified is smaller than the size specified of the constant. So like here it is 3 tick b, but here there are 8 bit but 3 bit written. So obviously left will be all discarded and only 3 bits will be our result. So it is, this is my final result. Okay. So in that case the leftmost bits are appropriately truncated. Okay. So you will get finally 3 tick b 0 1 1. Okay. And similarly in this case, if you will see 5 tick h 0 f f f. So just see the result. Are you satisfied? Is correct or wrong? So as it is written 5 bit, so your the result is 5 tick h 1 f. So your f is 1 2 3 4. This is already 4 bit. Okay. So but it should be output is 5 bit. So another 1 it will take from that side. See, I have written triple f. So that means 4f, then another f, then another f. So total 3f are there. But again our required output is 5 bit. So it will go up to this 5 bit only. Okay. So from here 1 will come, from here f will come. So it is 5 tick h 1 f. Understood? So means these are the way simulator will treat. So accordingly you have to understand the corresponding output to verify that this is correct as per your requirement. Okay. Sometimes instead of, for better readability, instead of z, or sometimes for don't care value, we will see in case syntax we use a question mark. So these are treated as don't care. So if you will find somewhere like question mark in like 1 question mark 1 1, some case, in case we may see this. So you don't confuse, like let's say I have written 4 tick b 1 question mark 1 1. So it indicates that that particular bit is don't care. Okay. In case if there is a condition, means either that bit is 1011 or it may be 1111. In both the cases this case will be evaluated. So, that particular bit is do not care, we do not worry about that particular bit. Instead of this I can write down this also question mark 1 1. Okay. So, the tool or simulator will try to search that bit is ignoring, rest of the bits should be 1 1 1. Okay. So, we will see this example in case construct in behavioral modeling. So, once integer is over, next is called real. So, real representation is mostly here we will, in order to represent a floating point, we use a real representation. So, a real number can be specified also here in two basic two forms. One is your decimal notation, this you know 2.0, 5.678, like this you can specify in using floating points, and another scientific notation, this also I think you know. Okay, so, this is like 23_5.1 E2. So, this E stands for 10 to the 2. So, if you will calculate 20, this is 235 dot 1 into 10 to the 2. So, if you will calculate, you may get this result, this simple representation. This is mostly this portion whatever I am covering maybe today or maybe next class, this will be a bit similar to C. Okay. So, only modeling style is different because C does not support directly hardware modeling, it supports. Okay. So, underscores are ignored, it is only for better readability. In the same case 3.6 into 10 to the 2, if you will evaluate it will come 360, and here you write small e or capital E, both are treated as same, not case sensitive. Only in this whatever Verilog is case sensitive, but this E, capital E, base like B, small b, capital B, those are not case sensitive, it is good for us. So, then finally, it is 10 to the minus 4, which will lead to a result of 0.005. So, now next is you can also have a implicit conversion to integers, like it also supports. So, real numbers are converted to integers by rounding to the nearest integer. Okay, that means 42.446 if you will see, or these two, when it will be converted, as this is not more than 5, the result is 42. Similarly, 92.5 or 92.6, it is 5 or more than that, so it is becoming 93. Okay. So, mostly these are interpretation tool will do for you while simulating, but you have to understand your result as per your requirement. Okay. Now, similarly, here they have taken like minus 0.6 is more, so minus 16, minus 15, and here it is less than 0.5, so it is minus 26. Okay. So, here in real nothing to learn much things. So, there are two representation accordingly. If you are doing a floating point arithmetic in some arithmetic designs or DSP processing or communication some applications or image application, at that time you may opt for a real number specifying for a real numbers instead of integers, round figure integers. Okay. So, next is string. So, like other language, it also support also how we can provide a string in Verilog. So, a string is a sequence of characters with double quotes. So, here if you are writing in double quote only, then it will be treated as a string. Okay. But if you are not writing in double quote, it may be treated as an identifier. So, a character is represented by an 8-bit ASCII. That means, let us say there is a string called double quote internal error. So, internal error is now a string, not an identifier. So, this string can be saved in a particular register also. We have taken one example. In that example, we have to store that a particular string for certain data computation. So, while representing this, a character is represented as 8-bit ASCII value, and that is treated as unsigned integer. Okay. So, that means it want to say that a string is a sequence of 8-bit ASCII values. That means, if it is I is there, the corresponding hex value for I will be stored. ASCII represented by certain like 1 ASCII is 31 like that. Okay. So, to store the internal error, a variable size of 8 cross 14 is needed. Are you convinced? Just see it. So, if you assume that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 space 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, if I count I get a total 14 numbers of ASCII character here. So, for I some corresponding hex value will be there. Similarly, for space also there will be one hex value. So, here space is a tab or new line. I told these are treated as white spaces in coding language, but in this particular they generally do not have any values in coding, but like in string, if you are having a space here, it will be treated as a ASCII value. So, it has certain weightage in terms of hex, 8 bit hex value. Okay. So, if you will count it, so we are having entirely 14 numbers of what 14 numbers of total character here. So, first each character is again 8 bit ASCII. To store it, we required a 8 cross 14 number of variables are required. So, as an example, what they have done, we have taken as register, it is a vector again, 1:8 cross 14 message. So, message is a register whose size is actually 1:, multiply 14 into 8, that much of size. Okay. So, after that some coding constructs are there, then now message, in message you can store this string. So, in double quote you can assign message is equal to double quote, within that internal underscore error. Okay. So, depending upon your internal error size, or whatever you are writing the string size, you have to decide this size of the register variable. Now, next you can use backslash character to escape certain special character, like if you are using /n, it will be treated as new line, this we know, /t is tab, and // you can use. In that case, what will happen, slash itself will become one character. Okay. /* you can use for star character. Similarly, is telling that if you are using /206, it will be treated as a octal value. This is some standard. So, if you are using /206, character with octal value 206 will be taken. Okay. So, this actually sometimes some part of the thing we need to simulate and observe the result. Okay. Then coming to your data types, I told there are two types of data type we used, right. So, one is called net data type and another is called your register data type. So, the conclusion is if we remember that net data type we use for structural modeling style, module instantiation, gate level modeling style, and also continuous assignments modeling style. So, wherever we want to join two intermediate nodes, so we need a where. So, that representation, where representation is called net type of data type. So, under net type of data type, actually we have lots of data type here. Until now you know where is only the data type which it supports in Verilog for net data type. Okay. But apart from where, there are many other are there. You see OR one. Okay. So, WOR is something like where plus OR. Okay. So, WAND is equal to where plus AND. So, that means there may be a chance that a single net may have a multiple data input driving capacity. Okay. So, if you are writing that, I am writing in a code like where is A. Okay. So, A will take only either 0, 1, x, z, only one input it will take, one value. Out of this whatever, understood my point? So, if I am writing where A, it is not a multiple driving element, it is only take either 0 or 1 or x or z, any one. But if I am writing the same thing like OR WORA, now if A input 0 is coming and 1 is coming, it will be odd and final value will be propagate to the next level node where it is connected. Are you getting? So, this in detail I will tell in next class. The summary is that net types is not only in supported where type, summary is like in Verilog only where type is not supported net types. There are other where types like OR, WAND, try and try 1, try 0 for tri state logic, supply 0, supply 1, these are used for like ground, and supply 1 sometimes used for VDD of the design. So, we will see those things in next class in detail. So, similarly So, a net type represents any physical connection between structural elements. So, that we discussed. Its value is determined from the value of its driver, okay, such as a continuous assignment statement or get output, primitive get output, what I told. So, if no driver is connected to a net type, the value is Z. That means it is open circuited. So, value will be assigned to that net is Z, that is high impedance, nothing is connected. Okay. So, in register case, what will happen? Unlike your net, register is used to store a data element, okay, and register type represents a data storage element, mostly we use in behavioral level modeling, and it is mostly used in initial and always statement. That we have seen that if we want to assign any certain value to any variable within a initial or always block, then we have to define those variables in the declaration part of the module or coding as register type. So, assuming that this will store values. Okay. So, if it is a combinational design, see, as the mandate of the syntax of Verilog LRM or language reference manual, so they have modeled the register same for combinational as well as sequential design. Okay. So, if it is a combinational design, it will behave like a simple where only, understood. But if it is a sequential design, it may have a also capacity to store the data. That means, if clock is there, so that variable will be treated as a output of a flip flop, storing the element. Okay. So, instead of modeling, because you can write a full adder using always block, you can write a flip flop or register using also always block. So, sometimes we call combinational always and sequential always. So, sequential always will act in sequence with clock, like we did for a counter coding, we have seen poses of clock, but combinational always is always a event trigger design. That means, we used to write down like always at the rate of A or B or C in full adder coding. So, if there is any of the events happening in A or B or C in, that block will be evaluated in a loop till the events in happening. Okay. So, that is why if we are assigning any value to the corresponding variable within the always or initial block, that has to be declared as a register. Okay. So, a register type has a default value of x. So, that means, there is a chance that a latch is there, a register, and we have not defined any latch is not initialized with any value. So, I told in last simulation coding that initially you will get a red color unstable state in the input, that indicates your value, as it is not initialized, your values are do not care, that is x. Okay. So, a register type has a default value of x. Okay. So, if so that is why I told many times in sequential design. So, if you have need to initialize the register first, either by resetting it to 0 or setting it to 1, then only from that it will start doing certain application, or like in counter it may start counting from 0 onwards till the final output value. Okay. So, in register type also, if you will see, we are having reg. Till now we know this where and reg. So, actually next class I will go in detail of different data types. We have to see that where, see where is something like, if I am giving 0, so where output is 0. If I am giving 1, output is also 1, simple data will pass. If x, then x. Okay. And similarly, we will see that the for different data type like or, try or WND, what will be the different truth table it support and how it will behave. Okay. And apart from net type, similarly in register type also, we only do not have a reg type data type. Beyond that, we are having integer, we are having time, real and real time. Okay. So, time is to support time, I told $time, one task which will give you current simulation time. So, time is to support the time data type. Similarly, integer is to store a 32 bit of data directly. Okay, so in detail of these things we will discuss in next class. Okay, so register we used to define like register 1 is to 3 then A or B. So in that case we are specifying the values for A in the size of the register. Unlike that, integers are by default 32 bit. So if you are writing integer A, directly A is 32 bit, no need to define its size. Understood? So similarly we will see the time and real time in detail in the next class. Today we will conclude today's class here. Next class we will go in detail about all these data types and semantics or syntax supported in Verilog.